Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in today's session. So, today I'm going to speak about a topic that we spoke about, I think, a few months back, how to get yourself unstuck. You know, um, when you are running your business, everything is going well, but sometimes we get to a point where you are stuck, you feel like you are not moving, maybe you wanted to level up, you've been at the same level for months and you feel like I'm stuck, I'm not moving, and you're not sure what can I do to rebuild myself. It could be even with your team, maybe you feel like we are not going anywhere. So today's topic is just to say, how do I recognize that I'm stuck, that I'm not moving? And how do I then get myself out of that and actually start being productive and actually start rebuilding my business so that I can be seeing the results? So that is today's topic. So the first thing will obviously be, how do you recognize that I am stuck? You need to recognize the signs. So maybe before we start, just type a one for me there in the chat. If you've ever been in a position where you felt like I'm stuck, I'm not moving forward, my life is stagnant. It can be in your forever business, it can be, in your personal life or at work or anything like that. Just type there for me in the chat so that I know that at least there are one or two people that will relate to today's topic. Okay, so recognizing the signs. Thank you so much. I see the chat. Thank you so much. So the first thing that will show you that you are stuck is when you start procrastinating or avoiding things that you need to do. So let's give an example with Forever. You know that for me to build my business, I need to call people. I need to go on social media and post and invite people for presentations. But you just feel like, I'll do it tomorrow. Or I don't want to be calling people. That is a sign that already you are stuck, you are demotivated. Because what happens when you were starting the business, when you had the energy, when you felt like, yes, I want to push this, you were always so excited. You'll be like sitting and thinking, I haven't called John yet. Let me take my phone and call. I need to call this other one. Oh, and I remember, that is what happens when you're motivated and you're pushing your business. But when you get to a point where you've been discouraged, you feel like this is not working, you start to procrastinate. You start to say the things that you're supposed to do, you postpone them. I'll do it tomorrow. Or there's no need for me to be calling people because already you feel like they're just going to say no, they're going to reject, or they won't show up. And I just want you to know that that happens to everyone. It's not just you. The difference is being able to recognize it and find a way out. When you start feeling like you are overwhelmed or you are helpless, you don't know what to do. It's a lot that needs to be done. And this, especially for people that are doing the business part-time, you find most of the time it can be so overwhelming because you are also trying to balance work, you're trying to do the Forever, you are working with people, and it can be, you just feel like it's a lot. It's a lot. I can't do this. Or you feel like you are constantly going in circles and there is no progress. So you've done, maybe this month you did your 4cc, and then next month you were like, I'm gonna push supervisor. You got to 8cc, you failed to close. The following month you even struggled to do 2cc. Next month again you are at 6. It's like I'm just going in circles, but I'm not reaching my goal. or you don't have the focus that you had when you started, where you would sit and say, I want to achieve this goal, and you work towards it. So you don't have that clarity and focus anymore. These are the top signs that show you that you are stuck or you have become demotivated in your business. Anyone recognizes some of these signs on themselves? If you do, just type for us the sign that you can relate to on these. And I want you to understand that feeling like this is not something out of the ordinary. It happens to everyone because at some point you start with a lot of energy. You are so excited about your business. The rejections start coming. People telling you the business doesn't work. People telling you the products are so expensive. People promising you they will come for the presentation and then they don't show up. That can be so demotivating. But what is important is you need to recognize these signs so that you don't sit in that period of being demotivated and you end up, not doing anything, and then your business will die. So, the cause of all this demotivation, sometimes it's negative self-talk when you tell yourself, I can't do this, or this is not for me. I always say, or people, even the Bible always says words are powerful. So what you say to yourself when you go out and you want to do a tabletop and you tell yourself, I cannot talk to people, I can what? It demotivates you when you tell yourself, I don't want to be around people, I don't know what to say to people. That will cause you to find yourself stuck. I am one of those people that I don't like being around people at all. I don't like crowds. I don't want like being in a room where there is like a lot of people and we have to smile and socialize and be happy and bubbly. That is not my kind of scene. I am someone who prefers to just be in my own little corner and do my stuff. Before I joined Forever, for me, a weekend looked like me at home in my room or at home watching TV. That is the type of person that I was. And I used to tell myself, yeah, I can't do this because, I don't want to be around people. I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk to people. And when you start talking like that to yourself and you tell yourself you can't do this, you can't do that, it starts showing up even in your life. It starts manifesting itself. Even when you show up, you are already showing up demotivated. You don't even connect with anyone. So I have to hype myself up. I have to speak positive to myself when I need to. Like last weekend, I had to attend this high tea event, and I was like, yo, it's gonna be 25 people in the room. But I had to talk myself positive talk. You can do this. You're going to show up. You're going to be happy. You're going to connect with people. You're going to get new numbers because that motivates you. So learn not to talk negative to yourself. Don't limit yourself believing that you can't do stuff. So avoid the limiting beliefs. Tell yourself that you can do it. Tell yourself that you can do anything. Sometimes we get stuck because we are afraid to fail. So some people they don't even try. They just feel like I'm going to call this person and they're going to say no. So because I'm afraid of being told no, I'm just going to stay here in my own little corner. And that will kill your business. You find yourself stuck in the same position. So these are the internal factors. There are also external factors that can get you stuck or demotivated. And that is when you overwhelm yourself with a lot of tasks. That is why we always say break down your goals into smaller, achievable goals. That's why we always say if you have a lot of things that you are supposed to do, you need to break them down for yourself so that they do not end up overwhelming you. So, this is one of the things that I actually struggled with when I started my business because at the time I started, I was working full time. I was also enrolled and studying full time. I was doing a degree. I would actually, before I joined Forever, I would look at my timetable. If I have classes in the morning, I would start at school. Then after school, maybe around 2, when my lectures are finished, I go to work. And then at work, I have to put in extra hours because I wasn't there the whole morning. Maybe I work until 8. And then I joined Forever on top of that. And then it just became so overwhelming. Like, yo, I can't do all of this. I'm struggling, it's taking its toll. I was so overwhelmed. And then I found myself stuck, not moving with the business because I felt like I was doing too many things. So I had to learn to say, don't overwhelm yourself with too many tasks. If you see that, okay, I'm working full time, when I get home, I'm a mom, I have to cook, I have to do this, the kids have homework. Maybe don't start yourself with telling yourself that I have to call 10 people every single day because it will overwhelm you. Start by calling maybe 1 or 2 people a day. Build a routine, build your confidence, then maybe you gradually increase it. Because the moment you're looking at your to do list and there are 30 things there that you need to do in that day, already you are demotivated before you even start. So don't overwhelm yourself with trying to do too many things. Find something that works for you and work with that. Maybe you don't have to call 10 people a day and follow up with 20 people and be on social media commenting on, you don't have to do everything all at once. You can decide to say, you know what, because I have so much on my plate, today I will call 2 people. Tomorrow I'll focus on social media. On Wednesday, I'm going to do follow ups with my team. On Thursday, I'll follow up with prospects to attend the presentation. So break it down so that it does not overwhelm you. And sometimes as well, when you don't have support, you can feel stuck. Maybe for me, when I started the business, my upline is a businesswoman. She's busy. She's there for me when it counts, but she couldn't, be there like you organizing a product launch and she's there. It's your first time doing tabletop and she's there. She couldn't do that. So I felt like, yo, I don't have support. But you don't have to feel like that if you are in Forever. And the reason is because every person in your team is actually a mentor, is actually a business partner. Find someone who is available that you can work with and you get the support that you need. Then you are not stuck. And then there can be also things that come that you haven't planned for. It could be a death in the family. It could be, could be a lot of things that can get you stuck. So understand, why is it that I am stuck? Because once you understand the reason, you then know how to fix the problem. Okay, let me check the chat. I see they avoid limiting 2 and 4, 2 and 3. Okay, so do you now understand? For those that typed, on the first slide there, do you now understand why you feel that way? Just type for me in the chat and I will read after the session. Yeah? So, what are the strategies that you can put in place for you to get yourself unstuck? Some of them I have already mentioned them when I was talking, but the first one is have a growth mindset. Believe that challenges are opportunities to grow. So, one of the things that I've seen that discourages people is when people don't show up. Maybe you had 10 people that promised you, we're going to be there, we're going to come to the presentation, and you get there, all of them have a lot of excuses of why they couldn't come. Maybe they are sick today or anything like that. And someone who doesn't have a growth mindset will see that as a fail. They will just go home demotivated. But someone who has a growth mindset, they look at it as an opportunity to grow. I always give the example of when me and my team, we went out, we went out to all the way to Free State. We had guests, people that had confirmed. We hired a venue, everything. We got there, and all of us, none of our prospects showed up. The room was completely empty. And we could have just said, yo, this is so disappointing. We cry, we drive back to Joburg. But we took that as an opportunity to grow by going out around the area. There were shops and there was a mall close by. We went out, we did contact marketing, we collected numbers, we actually sold a few products. So that is someone who has a growth mindset. Don't focus on what went wrong. Focus on what is it that I can learn from this experience and how can I improve myself. So you invited people, they didn't show up. Maybe you are like me, the success day that just passed. I bought tickets for guests that said they were coming. I had 3 tickets. I had 4 tickets actually that I bought because I had guests that said, no, this time I want to come and see what happens at Success Day. Some were prospects, some were even two were even my downlines, people that are FBOs and already in the business. I bought tickets. Now I'm there at the Success Day. I'm calling. Where are you? This one says, my leader, I'm sorry, I'm sick. I can't show up. This one says this. This one says that some are not answering their phones. And you have purchased the ticket, and those tickets are non-refundable. And if you don't have a growth mindset, you will see it as this business, it's not working for me. I've lost 1,000. Let me cut my losses before I lose more money. But someone with a growth mindset does not think that way. You take it as a lesson. Okay, this shows me that next time, even if someone says, my leader, please get the ticket for me, I will refund you. I now know. If someone says I'm a prospect and they want to attend, I will encourage them to buy their own ticket so they see the value. So every loss is actually an opportunity for you to learn something. Reframe your negative thoughts. Like I said, replace the I can't talk to people, I can't be in a room with a lot of people, and say, how can I? What can I do? How can I do this? How can I start talking to people? How can I be around a lot of people? How can I connect with these people? Don't tell yourself that you can't. Practice self compassion. Understand that it's okay to feel stuck sometimes. Sometimes we are too hard on ourselves, and that ends up discouraging us more. So understand that you are human. There will be times when you don't feel like showing up. There will be times when you don't feel like touching your business, calling people, or talking to people. Understand that that happens, but also recognize it as a sign of being discouraged and actually do something to get yourself out of that situation. Okay. Like I said, break it down into smaller goals. If manager, you're looking at this goal, you're saying, I want to become a manager, and you're looking at 120 cc's or you're looking at 150 cc's, and then you look at it and you're like, yo, 4cc is so hard already. How am I going to get 150? It's overwhelming. It can actually get you demotivated and stuck. Start breaking it down to the smaller goals. I'm going to start with supervisor. How much is supervisor? Supervisor is 10 cc. Can I move from 4 to 10? Yes. How am I going to do it? Maybe I need to recruit two more people every month. I need to do this. You know, you get to 10 cc. The next goal is assistant manager. Okay, how do I move from 10 to 60? I have those people that I recruited. Let me show them how to do supervisor. Is supervisor a big goal for them? No, they can do 10 cc. You can show them how you did yours. They do their 10 cc's. Maybe you had three people. You've already done your 30, maybe 35 for the first month. You know, next month, okay, now I need another 25 to get to 60. How am I going to do that? Okay, my new people brought these people. Let's show them how to also get to supervisor. And when you are focusing on the smaller things, like let me show this one how to get to supervisor. Let me help this one move from 1 cc to 4 cc. Before you know it, the bigger goals are actually taking care of themselves. When you're focusing on, I've recruited three people this month, let me show them how to do their 4cc. Already, the three of them, if they do their 4cc, that's already 12cc. But if you just focus on, I need to do 10cc for supervisor, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? It becomes so overwhelming. So break it down into smaller tasks, into things that you can see, okay, this is I can show this person how to do 10cc. I can show this person how to move from 2cc to 4cc. So focus on the smaller manageable steps. Don't look at the 150 cc's because it will overwhelm you. Start small and build from the smaller goals. Okay. I hope I'm talking to someone and I have people in the chat. If you're still here, just type for me in the chat box. So focus on one small action at a time, like I said. Celebrate the small wins. Reward yourself for completing each step. You know, um, one thing that I learned, not just for myself, but even for my team, when you recognize the small things, it gives them the energy to push harder. Have you ever seen if your downline does 0.5 cc and you send them a message and you're like, congratulations, you did your first 0.5 cc this month. What is your strategy? How are you selling off the products? They are so motivated. They start to feel like, yeah, but I can sell this and do another 0.5. It works with you as well. Maybe you signed up someone today. Congratulate yourself. Congratulations, Edge. You did it. You recruited someone. This is good. It gives you that energy to feel like, okay, if I can recruit one person, maybe I can push to recruit a second person. So reward yourself for the small things that you have achieved. You are someone who is introverted. You don't like calling people. Today you called, even if you called one person, congratulate yourself for that, because that is how you motivate yourself to do more. You attended a networking session. Reward yourself. Okay, I didn't like being around people, but this was my first event. Maybe I didn't talk to many people, but I showed up. I'm going to reward myself for being there. I might not have been able to get many numbers, but I attended the event. I showed up. That is something that you should reward yourself for, because next time there's a networking event, you recognize that, oh, last time I did go, so this time I can go, and this time I'll get one or two numbers. That is how it works when you are getting yourself unstuck. You start with the small stuff and you move up. Okay, so those are the strategies. Um, then also another thing you can do is change your environment. You can change your physical environment, like cleaning up your workspace, change the scenery, go for a walk. That can actually motivate you. Sorry, I'm being distracted by I think someone is watching a video. Let me just ask them to reduce their volume. Okay. Sorry about that. You can actually ask them to, you can see, now I'm confused. I don't know where I ended. We were talking about changing your environment so you can clean up your workspace. I've realized that, when your workspace is dirty, your mind can also not focus, or maybe you are working from your bed in your bedroom. Sometimes you just need to get out of the bed and go sit by a table so that you can actually focus on the tasks that you need to do. So sometimes if you're feeling stuck, look at the environment in which you are doing your work. Is it conducive for you to actually make calls? Because if I'm sitting in my room on my bed and I feel like I call one person, I can decide, you know what, let me take a nap for 15 minutes, then I will come back and do this. And before you know it, hours have gone by. Maybe you're on TikTok, maybe you are sleeping. So put yourself in an environment that actually allows you to be productive. You can have a little corner, even in if it's in your room, where you have a small desk and a chair to say, when it's time for me to do my business, for me to call people and do follow-ups, I'm gonna go sit by the table and the chair, and then I'm going to work from there. Okay. Practice mindfulness, deep breathing, meditation, exercising. That is another strategy for you to get yourself motivated, especially exercising. It gets your blood flowing and it gets you ready to actually get up and do something. Then surround yourself with motivation. Could be quotes, it should be quotes, it could be music, it could be people, but surround yourself with people that are going to motivate, or things that are going to motivate you and bring you up. Sometimes you can find that you are stuck because everything that is around you is just demotivating. You've surrounded yourself with friends that tell you that this business will never work. You are making friends with FBOs that have accepted that they are not going to be doing their 4CC. They always make comments about, hey, this business is a scam, this business is what. If you surround yourself with such negativity, of course you are going to be stuck. So find people that are going to be motivating you, people that are working towards the same goal, people that are moving forward, that will tell you, you know what, Heather, you can do it. You know what, this goal that you have, it's big, yes, but you can achieve it. What type of music are you listening to? What type of, speakers do you listen to? When you go on your Facebook, when you go on your TikTok, what are you listening to? Because that is hours and minutes of your life that you cannot get back. So if you are going to sit and listen to TikTok and people are talking about, negative, 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 that is how you're going to show up in your day as well. So surround yourself with positivity, from the music to the people that you follow, the people that you listen to, the people that are around you. Surround yourself with positivity. Don't go and follow these influencers that are always fighting and causing drama on Facebook and TikTok, because you wake up and that is what you are feeding your mind. There is no growth. So follow people like your Eric Wars, your Jane Leach, and all of that, so that when you go on your social media, when you're listening to music, when you're listening to podcasts, it's people that are speaking positivity into your life. Okay. Take action. Momentum is built through doing, not thinking. Sometimes we say, I'm going to do this. If I do this and this and this, my business is going to grow. But we don't act, we just plan. So take action, and you start by doing something small. Just pick up the phone and call someone. That is how you get yourself unstuck, because you can do all the analysis and find out why you are stuck and read all the material about how to get yourself unstuck. But the best way to get yourself unstuck is just to pick up the phone and call someone. Pick up the phone and call a prospect. Pick up the phone, log into Facebook, and start inboxing people. Take action. That is how you get yourself unstuck. Even if it's a small step, the act of starting can actually break the cycle. So let go of the need for everything to be perfect before you begin. This is where most people fail. You are not doing product launches because you want to get money first so that you can hire the perfect venue and do decor and make it look fancy. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just start. Do it under the tree at your house and put chairs and invite people to show up. Start where you are. Don't try and wait for the conditions to be perfect, because while you are waiting for the conditions to be perfect, your business is dying in the process. So let go of that I want perfection and just start. Don't worry about I need an iPhone for me to start doing videos for TikTok. No, take that phone of yours that you have and start recording your videos. Wipe your camera and record. Even if the quality is not making you look orange or whatever, just start with that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Most of these influencers, when they started, when they grew, not everyone started with an iPhone. Why are you waiting to purchase one for you to start doing your business? So it doesn't have to be perfect, just start. I see I have less than 4 minutes. Whew. And so I'm just going to rush through the rest. Reflect and learn. Ask yourself what is holding you back. If it's fear of failure, if it's you want everything to be perfect, or you don't have any direction, you never sit down and you set goals for yourself, you don't know maybe how to move from where you are and where do you go from assistant supervisor, then you need to speak to your sponsor and do a remapping, replanning to say, okay, what is the goal? How are we doing this? Learn from every setback. Like I said, each experience is a lesson. And then adjust your approach. If what you're doing is not working, it's okay to pivot and try something else. So maybe you've been calling 10 people every single day and you are not seeing results. Maybe try social media. Maybe try going out and actually meeting people, because there is no use in you doing the same thing over and over and over and you are not getting results, because it will keep demotivating you. Okay. And in conclusion, I would say getting unstuck is a process. It might not be something that you get yourself unstuck today. Okay, it might take you a week, it might take you 2 weeks, it might take you a month, and that is okay as long as you are working towards the progress. So if you've been on 0cc for the past 3 months, just start with doing a minimum order. Just tell yourself this month I'm not gonna close at zero. Look for 1,000 rand, buy yourself 2 Joes, and start from there. It's gonna be a process to get yourself back to 4cc, but at least start. Focus on the progress, not the perfection. Small steps. So don't focus on did I achieve 4cc. Focus on where was I last month and where am I now. You might not have done 4cc, but for the past 3 months you were on zero. And this month you managed to do 2cc. That is progress. Because if you keep looking at am I supervisor, you will demotivate yourself and not see that you have actually progressed. Then the last thing is believe in yourself. You have the ability to get yourself unstuck, to build the momentum that you need to grow your business. You just need to believe that you can do it. Okay, so that is my presentation for today. We have 1 minute left. I'm going to allow for comments. I don't think we'll have time for people to unmute and speak. But if you wanted to say something, maybe share with us how you managed to get yourself unstuck, or maybe how you are stuck now and you are not sure what to do, you can also share with us in the group. But for now, you can just type a message in the chat and I will read them in the 30 seconds that we have left. But thank you so much for waking up and joining today's session. I hope you found value. from the session. And I hope you manage to get yourself unstuck for those that are stuck. And for those that are not stuck, I hope that you continue to take the positive and keep growing and building your business. So thank you so much. I wish you all a very, very productive day. I'm seeing the messages in the chat. Thank you so much, Alida Dotia. Yes, you are unstoppable.